Every now and then, a car comes along that I think really grabs our collective imagination. Fiat have been going for over 100 years, 1890s they started. I loved, when I first went to Italy, I saw all these little Fiats zipping around these amazing medieval towns, and they're just such cool little cars. Well, they've been holding back a little bit in the electrification. For a long time, you've been able to get a Fiat 500e in California, nowhere else on the planet, not even in Italy. But now, that was a compliance car. That was just to placate the government of California. Now they are making the Fiat 500e as a mass-produced production car, and this is it, the Fiat 500 Elettrica. I just think this is such a cool little car. And a beautiful colour, it's rose gold. Gorgeous. So we're going to go for a test drive. I can actually get in it and drive it on fully charged. What a breakthrough. So all I want to say after that is questa è una fabbrica a Slough. È la Fiat 500 e questo è fully charged. There's a lot of interest in this car. A lot of people want to get a Fiat 500e. So we're in a town in the southeast of England called Slough. This is the home of Ricky Gervais's office. This is where the office was set in the iconic television comedy series The Office, when it was the British version of The Office, or as we like to call it, the original version. Not that the American version wasn't very, very good. It was an extremely successful transition. So everything about this car immediately appeals to me. I mean, primarily the size. It's small, it's really compact. I've actually reversed it around in this little garage we're in. I love the front has been restyled quite a lot from the original, well, from the current 500. So this little light on the bonnet is a new feature, which I like. It's just a good look. Obviously, it doesn't need the big grille because it's not got a combustion engine. It's got a little grille down there. There's a bit of radiator cooling down there. Now, another quick point before I go into detail in the car, you'll notice I'm wearing a hat. The reason I'm wearing the hat is because it's, not the hottest day of the year. And my daughter, very, very intelligent, well-educated and fine young woman, agreed to give me a little trim on my hair because I couldn't go to the barbers. And she used my beard trimmers, which is, which are very good, a very high-functioning tool. I encouraged her. It's not her fault, and I'm not angry with her. She got a little bit carried away. What I wanted was a delicate trim, just a bit of a trim, just to not be too scruffy, and that's what I got. A little bit short. So, to be fair, there's not a great deal of hair up there. So it wasn't hard work for the beard trimmers. They coped with it extremely well. It just all came off. So I'm just dealing with that at the moment, and it's fine. It's very easy to look after. I don't have to do a lot of hair. I don't need a lot of hair care products. So that little fella there, that's a little side light addition. That's a new feature. I like that. The wheels, I've yet to see a bit I don't like. I'm going to find one. The other thing, I think this is the critically important thing, I'd seen one of these cars in Los Angeles. In fact, I saw two when last time I was in Los Angeles. One was charging, one went past me on the street. Really cool little cars. The previous version of the Fiat 500e, such a sensible little car with a really decent range. Everyone who had one in California loved them, but you could only get them in California. It's the only country in the world, the only state in the world, or maybe one day be a country, the only state in the world where you could get a Fiat 500e. It was a compliance car. They had to have electric cars on their fleet in order to be able to sell Chryslers and Fiats in the biggest car market in the world, which is California. And so they had to make electric ones, so they did, and it was kind of like almost begrudgingly they made them. Well, they gradually realized that people really liked them, that they worked really well, that they lasted a long time, that they were really efficient, that they were really easy to look after, all those things. And it's like taken them sort of best part of 10 years for Fiat to go, okay, we'll make electric ones. And this is a mass-produced electric car made in Turin. One of the reasons you might know it's made in Turin is because where you put your phone to charge, I just put my phone in there. Such a good place to put it, and it's charging. Didn't do anything clever, didn't take off the cover, just beep, bling, on it comes, little blue light, on it comes. But just along the front of there is the skyline of Turin. Turin is the Italian city where Fiats are made and where this is built in Italy. So this is a left-hand drive version at the moment in the UK. The right-hand drive ones will arrive early next year. And I think we're going to do, I'm really going to hassle for another test drive, even if it's just selfishly. I just love this little car. It is such a cool car. Charging port, very nice. It has got the two covers for the Type 2 and the CCS. So I've stopped at the Windsor Lawn Tennis Club, which is probably quite a posh club because it's closed at the moment. And because I just want to charge it. I know it's the normal thing. I don't need to charge it. I just want to see what it's like to charge it. You know, I think it's important to test that out. So I'm using a polar charger. Please connect your vehicle. Having a little bit of fun. Oh, yeah, oh. It all works. This was a surprise. When I looked in here, I thought this is going to be absolutely tiny, minuscule. It's such a small car. That is actually quite big. There's quite a lot of room in there. Look, there's your charging cables. I mean, that is surprisingly sizey. I'm not going to lie, it's not a big, you know, you couldn't get your bike in there. But the seats fold down, you could put more in than you'd expect. That is way bigger than I thought. I really am surprised at that. So the FIAT 500e has a 42 kilowatt hour battery, which gives it a realistic, verified by the EV database range of between 150 and 180 miles, depending on the time of year and the driving style. I can tell it really would do that very, very easily, if not more. I can see that you could easily get to more than 150 miles. So I put the destination where we're going in the sat-nav. And the sat-nav's pretty damn good. I'd get used to that very quickly. It took me a while, and you've always got to get used to the way these systems work. One thing that really threw me, I couldn't find the volume. So the gentleman next to me has got quite loud music on, as you can hear. Yeah. And I couldn't find the volume, so the radio was on in here. Couldn't find the volume, couldn't find it everywhere, looked everywhere, couldn't find it. It's behind the steering wheel. There's a little knob, and that's the volume up, down, and the channel change on that side. But you've got to be told that. You wouldn't see it. It isn't obvious. That is the most quirky thing I've come across. Everything else is super clear on this. I know I've got 143 miles range, 84% of battery. I know it's 12:29 in the morning and it's 70 degrees centigrade outside, which is kind of the important things to know. So the modes in this car, it's like they were designed for me. There's normal, which is what it's on now. When you get in it and turn it on, it's on normal. You then pull the little E mode lever back and you get range. Oh, Lord, straight away. I immediately felt that because there's slow traffic in front of me. Took my foot off the throttle, and the regen braking is brutal, which is what you want. That is nice. Wow. And then, as if range mode wasn't enough, let's go down one more. Sherpa. Sherpa driving will get you, you know, the whole idea with a Sherpa is they guide you, they get you to where you want to go. And this is now in Sherpa mode, which is one pedal driving par excellence, so I've been told, and it feels like it is. It's got a maximum speed of 50 miles an hour. So that is very nice. The phone charger is just a natural place to put your phone, and look, ping, it's charging. Nice. Even though my phone is actually full now, that is all your heating, so that's your heating up and down. Now, and I can't work out how to go down. I don't want it to go down anymore. It keeps going down. Then you do that to make it go up. Such a moron. Auto must mean it just does auto general sort of heating. So these are all your heating buttons. AC off. That's your. I don't want it blowing at me. No, that won't go up. I want it blowing down there. That's better. And also make it warmer. Thank you. There's your demist, which I haven't had to use, and the rear one. Oh, calm down, love, we're all right. Oh, blimey. And off. I like it. That's very nice. So that's a very clear, the dash screen is very, very clear, very simple. Obviously, when you put it in reverse, it then gives you the car and shows you all the close bits, you know, and it's got lots of beepers and sensors all around it. In normal drive mode, there it goes like that. And then you will also see when you change the modes, up here, it's got Sherpa, range, normal. It's definitely having a bit of trouble with the safety check. That's what seems to be the problem. And it's charging now. It is charging. You know, I'm used to this, but I'm just thinking, if someone's bought one of these cars, they've never used it before, they come to a charge point like this and they use it and it doesn't work, you know, you just panic and freak out and think it'll never work. You've got to be really patient. This technology is improving enormously. I just want to point that out. It used to be really, really ropey. It is better. That was a bit annoying that it didn't quite do it then. This car has got every possible trimming you could possibly put in a car. It's got everything. It's got the best sat nav, it's got a really good sound system, it's got amazing software, it's got heated seats, all those things to make it, which makes it more expensive, which is fine. If you want to pay for that, that's fine, have that choice. But what about having a cheap version which has no trimmings at all? So it does have adaptive cruise control, which in a car of this size is impressive. You wouldn't expect that. So it's got speed limiting and adaptive cruise control in, you know, which is very, very useful if you're doing journeys on motorways. It's the one bit of that sort of technology I use all the time, like in the Tesla, in the Kona, in any car I drive. If it's got cruise control and it's got adaptive cruise control and you've got a long journey, it just makes life a lot easier. So 0 to 60 in the Fiat 500e is 0 to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers is 9 seconds. Not shameful, not amazing, obviously. You know, I mean, there are cars that can do it in under 3 seconds, but they cost about £100,000. The cost, very, very important. The cost, the Fiat 500e starts at around about £24,000. I've seen lots of different quotations of how much it actually costs, or La Prima, which is this one, which has the lovely canvas roof, is 29,000. That is expensive. That is including the UK government grant. The Fiat 500e looks to me like a really cool electric car, and they've somehow managed to cram in a petrol engine into one of the versions. It feels like it's the other way around. This feels like it was built as an electric car. It takes advantage of the things that an electric car offers. Front wheel drive, all the motor and all the control systems are up the front. But it's really, you know, really good road holding. Centre of gravity is really low, much lower than it would be in the petrol one. All the batteries are under the floor. The rear seats, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know what sort of human being could get in them, but very, very small ones. So if you had small children and you were capable of leaning into the back to put them in their child seats, you know, they'd be fine until they're about 5, and then they'll be crammed. I mean, it is not, it really is sort of a 2-seater, 2+2 with very small, you can put your shopping in the back, loads of room for your shopping, and as I saw earlier on, a bigger boot. So I'm going to reassess my opinion about the range of the Fiat 500e on this very short test drive. So I initially agreed with the EV database, who estimated it to be between 150 and 180 miles on a charge. Absolutely true. I think that is true normally. The WLTP range is ridiculous, like 200 and something miles. That's silly. But now that I've put it in Sherpa mode and actually, now I'm stationary and actually watched, when you're in Sherpa mode, it goes up to 150 miles range, where in normal it's 130. So it's adding another 20 miles range. So I think when it's full and you drive carefully in Sherpa mode, you can't not drive carefully in Sherpa mode. Minimum acceleration, minimum top speed is, the maximum top speed is 50 miles an hour. Can't go above 50. None of the heating's on. Everything's super, super low energy. Then you would get 200 miles range. In the Netherlands, on a nice balmy day in summer with no wind, over 200 miles. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Wish I could say that in Italian. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now that is nice. I prefer that to a glass one. It's just a canvas one, it's nice, just folds back, lovely. So there's a couple of things I want to mention just before I go that I think are very important to that. The cost of this car, it's about £3,000 cheaper than the Honda E, which is a brilliant car, but quite expensive. It's £1,500 cheaper than the Mini electric. I think that's important. I think a thing I really want to make a big deal about is the Sherpa mode, and the fact that it really does increase the range of the car. And if you're driving in a town, that's really where it makes sense. You have it in Sherpa. You know, you've got a car then that could literally do 200 miles on a charge. So you'll charge it once or twice a week, if that. Now, another important thing I think it's worth mentioning is vehicle fuel efficiency. That is the energy equivalent of, if this car could run on fossil fuels, how far would it go on a gallon, for instance? Well, it's 149 miles to the gallon, so it's pretty damn good. So it's a really efficient, really pleasant, fun car to drive if there's 2 of you. If there's 4 of you, the back is kind of comically small, but not unusable. You know, you can get kids in the back, so if you've got small children, it's perfect. The boot is bigger than I expected. There's lots of surprises in this car. Driving is brilliant. The Sherpa mode is fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. So that's all. Please do subscribe to Fully Charged. Please tell your friends and family about Fully Charged if they're interested in trying out electric cars like the fabulous Fiat 500e. Brilliant little car. Really give it a go if you get the chance for a test drive. You'll love it. So have a look at the Patreon link that is in the description beneath this video, and they're very, very easy to press the little bell so you get an announcement of when the next episode comes up, because there's lots of fabulous episodes coming, or YouTube memberships. Have a look at that too. And that's it. And as always, si stato grazie di aver guardato.